and then I will let them in and we will go from there. And hopefully we'll get a couple more that jump in.
Good, sounds good.
After we get started. All right, good evening, everybody. My name is Patty Spencer, and I am an admissions counselor at the College for Creative Studies. Thank you for joining us on this presentation about earning college credit while you're in high school. I am recording this, so if you would please leave your video off and keep yourselves muted until we tell you. Otherwise, if you have questions at the end, we can definitely do that. If you have questions during the presentation, if you want to put them in the chat, either I will answer them or Jane will get them answered as soon as we can. I'd like to introduce our special speaker tonight is Jane Stewart from our Continuing and Special Studies program. So Jane, if you want to take it away, it's all yours.
Hello, everyone. I am Jane Stewart. I'm the Director of Pre-College and Continuing Studies here at CCS, and we are here to talk about how to earn college credit while you're still in high school. So I'm going to share my screen real quick here. Here we go. Let's go into slideshow. Okay, so here we go. There are two main ways that you can earn college credit while you're still in high school. One is through the pre-college summer experience, and the other is through dual enrollment. So the pre-college summer experience, that's a 3-week program where over 90% of the students live on campus. You're living in the dorms, they're eating dorm food, they're taking a class. We actually cram 90 hours of contact time in that 3-week period. So it's intensive, and but you will earn 3 college credits at the end of the program. So let's talk about that. So this year, the program goes from July 9th through the 29th. It's a 3-week program. You live on campus, or you could be a commuter if you're within driving distance. Everyone selects one concentration, which they focus their studies on. You earn 3 college credits. They're transferable to any college or university of your choice. And you must have completed at least 1 year of high school to attend. So you have to have at least 9th grade completed before becoming to pre-college. But I will say that most people do that between their junior and senior year. A few of them will go between their sophomore or junior year, and some actually take the program after graduating from college before starting college, just as a transition. So here are the concentrations that we have available. Our 2D hand-drawn animation is sold out, and I think we're down to 1 spot left in our character concept and visual development class. But we have Blender 3D modeling, digital film, and photography, drawing studio, illustration, industrial design. There's 1 spot left in the streetwear fashion design and the transportation design if it has room available. So what I'd like to do is sort of talk about the different concentrations a little bit more in depth. So the 2D hand-drawn, that's frame by frame, drawing out your animations in a 2-dimensional format. You can see this, she's working on a light stand here, drawing her animation. Blender is a 3D program that's being used not only for animation, film, CGI, but it's also being used in the product industry, and they're starting to use it at Ford and GM as well. Character concept and visual development, there's 1 seat left. That's where they're going to create a character. They're going to create an environment for their character, and it's a way of there's a whole field out there of developing characters for games, for animation, for film, projecting what a film might look like. That's a specialty that our provost does. Tim Flattery is a concept artist who does a lot of work with Marvel. The drawing studio is going to be just strong drawing skills, which will be a great way to build your portfolio. It's a great feeder into just about every program because strong drawing skills are just important for so many different fields. Digital film and photography, they're going to go out and shooting film, and they're going to be shooting pictures. This particular class will be going out on the shuttle buses and going all around to all the cool places in Detroit. And they'll be shooting both video and film, and then they're going to learn how to edit with Adobe Premiere Pro, and they're going to learn how to edit with Adobe Photoshop. The illustration class will do both digital, and they will do hand-drawn illustrations So that's another great portfolio builder. Actually, all of these are great ways to build your portfolios. Industrial design, they're going to be designing a product and developing that. It sounds like they're going to be creating speakers. So, like a cordless speaker, imagine what that might look like. They're going to be going through the design process and coming up with a speaker design, which they'll take home with them. For the streetwear fashion design, there's one spot left. This class she's actually making a pair of sneakers right there. So they'll be designing and making their own sneakers. They're going to do an upcycled fashion garment, and they'll be making ball caps. And sort of imagine creating your own brand and then developing fashion to go along with your aesthetic. The transportation design class, it's going to be hand drawn, and they're going to be drawing vehicles for the year 2055, I believe. That's a great one if you're interested in automotive design. It'll be taught by the designer of the M300 from Chrysler. Dave Smith's a really easygoing, likable guy. And then at the end of the whole program, there's going to be the student exhibition. So this is where all the students put out the work, and the parents, families can come and see what happened during that 3-week period. I will say that the pre-college summer experience is not just a class. We bring in a lot of guest speakers. We go to art museums. We have a lot of field trips. You will meet industry professionals in each of the different disciplines. There'll be portfolio prep workshops. There's going to be kind of a how to cope with college workshop. There'll be there'll be a variety of different workshops, lots of guest speakers. So lots of information coming at you that you can opt in or not participate in. But it's also it's a lot of fun. And I don't know how to say this, but imagine 150 creative people all coming together and having a good time. So we had the band The Doozers play for us one year. We take a field trip to that's Glenlar Trails, where there's an art light installation and a hike. Anyways, it's a lot of fun, and I just can't say that it's not just all work. So if you are interested in the pre-college summer experience, you should go to ccsclasses.com. That's where you could register. Now, let's see, some of these people here, this person and that person, I think they were from Miami, but they wanted to see Canada. So one of the field trips, we went out and hung out in downtown Detroit, where you could see the Canada. So the next topic is dual enrollment. And this is where you're taking a college level course while you're still in high school. So our fall semester is September 5th through December 17th. Typically our classes meet twice a week, and generally the time spot that works best for dual enrollment students is 4 to 6:45 p.m. But there's also a class that goes all day Saturdays that might work better for you. Our online classes, some of them have designated meeting times on Zoom, 5 to 7:45. We pushed it back a little bit by an hour so that students that are in Chicago and even in Denver can participate. You will earn three college credits that are fully transferable. You will have taken a lot of your prerequisites by taking the dual enrollment classes. So when you do come to college, you've knocked some of those off and you can just get right into your major a little quicker. But the biggest advantage is really it comes down to a cost thing. You will build your portfolio, and if you do have a stronger portfolio by doing college level work, you potentially could get a better scholarship package. So when you combine that with the low cost per credit, okay, this is what a 3-credit class would cost at CCS if you paid the book rate, and there's automatically discounted down to $900. But if you live in Michigan, your school district will contribute between $500 and $740 toward the class. So when I did the calculation here, I put in this is Utica Community Schools. That's the rate that they paid this particular year. I think it'll go up one more time. We'll find out in October what it is. But imagine getting a 3-credit class for $175. If you happen to be homeschooled or go to a parochial school, there are sometimes options that will work for you. So we offer dual enrollment in Detroit in 2 different locations, at the Ford campus and the Taubman Center for Design Education. You can also take a class online, and if you happen to be part of the Utica Community Schools, we're going to be offering a Drawing 1 class at Stevenson High School after school. So if you happen to be a member of Utica Community Schools, then you could take a class there as opposed to driving down to Detroit. So you're wondering who can participate? You have to be a sophomore, junior, or senior in high school, but you also have to be approved by your guidance counselor. So each school district may have their own set of rules of what they accept and what they do not accept. So, for example, Utica Community Schools, you have to have a certain score on one of your PSATs, and you have to have met a certain number of credits in order to qualify. If you are homeschooled, you have to take at least 1 class at your local high school in order to get the support of the state of Michigan. And then private and parochial schools have a little bit more discretion on how they use their funding. So we could work that out. We have had students at some Catholic schools that have participated and had the state of Michigan support that. So here are the classes that are choices if you want to take classes in person in Detroit. We highly recommend this one here, Drawing 1 Rapid Concepts. That's a class almost everyone has to take if you're a illustration, product design, entertainment arts, transportation design. They all need to take Drawing 1 Rapid Concepts. So it's a great class to take. If you're interested in entertainment arts, we have a couple seats available in the creative visualization class. That's the class that all freshmen have to take who are going into entertainment arts. And that's all about creating a character and a storyline and how to express that visually. If you are interested in game design, we have Intro to 3D Computer Graphics. So that's going to be going right into Maya and creating 3D Maya graphics. That's going to be a really neat class. This is the first time we've been able to offer that. We also have a fashion design, it's called Fashion Design Essential Skills. That particular class, they're going to learn everything you need to know to be a fashion major. So if you come in with these skills, if you know how to apply a dart and how to sew, what the front center is, and all of this terminology that is used in the class, you'll just be leap years ahead of the rest of the group that who are freshmen with you when you do get to college. We also have online classes. So here's a selection of classes. I'd like to point out figurative illustration. That class is terrific if you're interested in learning how to draw the human body. That is going to be super helpful for anyone interested in illustration. But also if you're interested in animation, if you can draw human figures and get the gesture and the proportions right, it will totally boost your portfolio and really support you well into those majors. You can try out product design by taking the freshman fall class or transportation design. There's a Western art history, which is super interesting to learn about Western art. So it'll take you from, goodness, I would say from cave paintings all the way up to the 21st century that we're in now. If you're interested in dual enrollment, you can put up your camera here and take a picture. This is the QR code that will take you to our form that you need to fill out. But you also need to talk to your guidance counselor. Your guidance counselor will tell you what your school district's policies are and what they will cover. Some of them will not, you have to get past the class with a certain amount, otherwise you have to pay for the class. Some of them, you may have to wait until the next year before you're qualified. Some school districts may ask you to take all of their drawing classes and all of their art classes before you take dual enrollment. So it really just depends on which school district you attend. And there is my phone number. That's actually my cell phone number. If you want to write that down or take a picture of it, you can ask me any questions at any time if something comes up. So I'm going to stop my share and see if there are any questions.
It looks like there's one in the chat. Did you see that about supplies for dual enrollment?
Yes, that's a great question. Every instructor will tell you what supplies they need for their version of the class. But what I could do, Cameron, for you is if you're interested in seeing that, I could send you a syllabus from the last time we've run the class, and it will be very similar to that. Our instructors don't have to post their syllabus until 1 week before the class. So it's a little frustrating for us because we always want to get out there and shop and get the supplies early. But the actual list will be available probably August 30th for a September 5th start. But Cameron, would you like me to take a note and do that? Send you a 2D design syllabus from the last time that the class is run, so you can take a look, but I would recommend not buying anything yet.
Yep, they said that'd be great.
Okay, I can do that.
And definitely if either of you, Cameron or Ariel, if either of you guys have any questions, you can also unmute yourself if you want to ask Jane, or you can put it in the chat, whatever works better for you guys. We have a nice small group here tonight. Looks like we just had somebody join us. Welcome. It looks like George Laurie. We kind of already started the presentation, but if you have any questions about earning dual enrollment credit or our summer program or anything like that, you're welcome to ask.
Okay, so Ariel had a question in there. Could you take a class as a Canadian student? Ariel, do you live in Windsor? Are you close by? We have looked into this, and we have had a Canadian student take a dual enrollment class. Oh, you're in Vancouver. Okay, so you could take an online class. The time difference is a little bit of concerning because our classes, if they are synchronous, where it's met over Zoom, they would start at 5 o'clock our time. So I imagine that might be, are you on Pacific time? Would that be 2 p.m.?
Yeah, it'd be 1 or 2, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
She'd also be eligible for pre-college too.
Yes. Yes, we do have a student coming in from Vancouver for our pre-college for the transportation design program this summer. We actually have people coming in from Turkey and Costa Rica. So
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And Vancouver and Bulgaria.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So the pre-college summer experience, you could come in for 3 weeks and try it out, live in the dorms and see if it sort of fits, if it's the right direction for you. We have had people that have come to pre-college summer experience with one major. For example, Miriam came in as a 2D hand-drawn animation student, and now she decided that she didn't want to do that when she was a high school student. She went in for illustration, and now she's doing artwork for Louis Vuitton. So very cool. Okay, so can you do the pre-college summer during the summer? Yes, we have the pre-college summer experience, and George, we could go through the program. I talk fast. I can't help it. We could go through the program if you'd like me to talk about the summer programs. Would you like that? I'm going to back up on my presentation.
Also, Cameron asked about if you knew what building the 2D design class would be in.
Okay, the 2D design class will be in the W.B. Ford building. And that is the one with all the windows right behind the Detroit Institute of Arts. Are you familiar with that one? Okay, yes. So if you have your reservation confirmation, it will say maybe W205 is one of the rooms that they're in. In fact, I could look that up for you if you're interested. One moment. And then George Laurie, I can pull that up in just a moment. Okay.
And while you're doing that, I'm just going to mention, if they want to, Ariel and Cameron, we make sure we get all their questions answered. And then if they want to, they can hang out to hear it again, or they can leave if they want to. And when we're talking to George, so.
Okay. You are in room W207, which will be on the second floor of the WB Ford building. And we are going to have an orientation for all of the students before dual enrollment. I think that invitation will be going out probably closer to August, but we'll invite everyone to get on a Zoom call, and that would probably be, I think it's August 30th. We can review everything, so we can talk at that time. If you have any questions, by all means, Cameron, give me a call anytime. So I'm going to share my screen and talk and show about the pre-college summer experience. Whoops. Yeah, here we go. So the pre-college summer experience, imagine having 150 high school creative kids. You know, sometimes in a high school, there might be 2 or 3 or a handful of students that are super creative or artistic. Well, this is a big concentration of your people. So you're going to be with your people. And for every 8 students, we have a mentor. So that's an undergraduate student that's kind of, they live on the same floor with you. They help you get to class. Or, you know, they're there to support you in any way that they can help you during the program. They also can kind of tell you what it's all about from a student perspective. So the pre-college summer experience goes from July 9th through 29th, and it's a 3-week program. About 90% of the students, maybe 95%, live on campus, but there'll be a handful of people that are commuters. So if you live in the driving distance, you could drive back and forth to campus. Everyone selects a concentration, and you earn 3 college credits by getting 90 hours of contact time in with your professor. So the credits are transferable to any college or university, and they would transfer in as elective credits. And you must have completed at least your freshman year of high school before attending, but most people do it between their junior and senior year of high school. Here are the concentrations that we have. Some of them are selling out. I will say that another spot sold out of the character concept from this morning, from when I created this PowerPoint to right now. So we have 1 spot left in character concept, 1 spot left in streetwear fashion design. George, do you happen to have a major of these that you would be most interested in hearing about? Because I can tell you about each of the concentrations. We have 2D hand-drawn animation that's drawing animations frame by frame. You can see she's working right now on an animation stand. There's Blender 3D modeling. Blender is the open source 3D modeling software that's out there now. It's going to take off. It's really starting to be used in the auto industry. And I think Stellantis, which used to be Fiat Chrysler, Ford is using it. I think GM's using it. But it's also used for film and animation, and it's just really taken off just because it's a free open source system. The character concept art and visual development, they'll be creating characters, they'll be talking about their backstory, and then they're going to work on gesture drawing and creating characters that could be for comics, it could be for game, it could be for, I guess, animation, or just pitching an idea for a story. You know, a lot of our students are getting into creating pitch Bibles, where they're working on selling their ideas for movies and films or to Netflix. That they all require character concept art. Drawing studio, that's an intensive drawing program, which is great feeder for every different category of the art and design world. These are fundamental skills, and you would build an amazing portfolio. It's also a great way to start off if you're interested in art practice or illustration. The digital film and photography section, they'll be shooting film and video and editing on Adobe Premiere Pro and Adobe Photoshop. The illustration class will be working both digitally and hand-drawn with chalk pastel. The first week will be taught by the chair of the department, and that's going to be all about digital. The second week will be chalk pastel, and that'll be taught by a children's book illustrator. And the third week will be focusing on kind of editorial style, and that one again will be digital. Our chair always says that the people that come through pre-college that go through this program come in the strongest, and they stay the strongest because they've got such great digital skills. The industrial design program will be, they'll be drawing, they'll be working on their visual communication skills, and they'll be creating a product. And I think the product will be a wireless speaker, and what that design and what that might look like. And they'll actually create them and take them home with them, which I kind of wish they'd make one for me. The streetwear fashion design, there's only one spot left, but they'll be working on upcycled fashion garments. They'll be working on creating their own sneakers. So they'll be designing and creating their own sneakers that they'll wear home, and then also ball caps. The transportation design department will be drawing and rendering vehicles, and they will be creating sort of a 3D fishbone model, which is a way of demonstrating and taking a look at their design and what that might look like in 3 dimensions. And at the end of the whole program, everything culminates with the student exhibition. So everyone puts their works on the wall, and it's a lot of fun to see what everyone's been doing. So it's not just a class. We also have guest speakers. We meet industry professionals. We go to art museums and have field trips. We have portfolio reviews. There'll be portfolio workshops. There'll be kind of coping with creative stress workshops. There'll be all sorts of things going on that will help support you and help you get through the transition from high school to college. But also, it's a lot of fun. These are kooky our designers and artists, and they get out and just dance in the street. So we had a band, the Doozers, which was a CCS band, house band, and we went off to the Glenlore Trails, where there's a sort of a light installation and a hike. We do a lot of fun things in the evenings, escape rooms, that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in the pre-college summer experience, you can register at ccsclasses.com. Are there any questions about the pre-college summer experience? Okay, how much does it cost? To live in the dorms, it's $3,695. That covers the cost of the 3 college credits, room and board, all of your materials, all of the activities, all soup to nuts. It's all inclusive. If you are a commuter, I don't have that. One moment, let me look that one up. It's $3,245 if you're a commuter. Is there a major that you happen to be interested in? I could tell you about that particular program. Oh, it's okay. Oh, hello, Dad. Okay, this is for your twin daughters. Yeah, we've had twins come before. It was kind of fun, and they get, if you live on campus, you get to pick your roommates. So they might want to live together. That the fraternal twins that we had were brother and sister, so they did not live together. Actually, we had twin girls in 2018. Now that I recall, yeah. What's the schedule during the day? Okay, so the classes go from 9 until 4, Monday through Friday, with an hour break for lunch. So between 12 and 1, they're breaking for lunch. There's also 2 days of homework nights. What I'm going to do is pull up my 3-week schedule so you can see it with a visual aid. 23. I apologize with I'm loading this up here. There it is. Okay. I'm going to share my screen again. This is just a better way to look at it. Okay, so if you can see here, this is kind of what the day looks like. This is our first week. They'll go to class from 9 until 4. And then this particular day, we have a guest speaker, and everything in red is what would be required and mandatory to participate in. And then things that are in blue, if anyone's over the age of 16, they can participate or not. They could kind of hang out in the rooms. If a student is under the age of 16, we supervise them a little bit more closely, and we have the mentor with them, or we have them signed in and out to different activities. So you get a sense that the classes go Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. The first weekend we have mandatory workshops. So that's when you pick if you want to do glass blowing or if you want to do screen printing, installation art. This is really more of a fun weekend just to try different things. Week 2, you'll see that there's a little bit more options throughout the week. There's homework nights on Tuesdays and Thursdays this week. And on week 3, our homework nights on Tuesday and Wednesday, so that all of the artwork that has to be due to this imaging center is due at 11. So everyone's kind of done with their work on Thursday at 4 o'clock. From there, we go out for the Riverwalk for a field trip just to kind of hang out in downtown Detroit. And then the next day we set up a student exhibition, and we have our portfolio reviews. The gallery is open to faculty. There's a fashion show from the fashion department. And then on Saturday, the exhibition is open to parents and families. Did that answer your question for the schedule, or maybe I gave you too much information? Oh, terrific. So when they're living in the dorms, for every 8 students, there is a mentor assigned to them that would be a undergraduate student, and they would live on the same floor. So they'd have roommates, they'd have the full experience of college, but they'll be almost like an RA down the hall. But because our students are minors, we are required to travel in groups through like a school bus when we leave for transportation. And we travel off campus in groups of 10, but when we're on campus, everyone has a lot of freedom, but they're also supervised pretty well. When somebody signs up for the program, they fill a bunch of forms out, and then they can fill out a survey, and from the survey that'll say, I'm a morning person, I'm a night person. We try to match up people either by majors or kind of personality styles. We ask if you're tidy, or if you're not so tidy, then that can be a way to predict suitable roommates. And we have generally 4 floors. One is an all-female floor, we have an all-male floor, then we have co-ed floors that might have some non-binary people in it. And you get to kind of request the kind of housing situation that you want. Terrific. If you have my number, I'm going to type this in the chat. If you have any questions that come up, this is my cell phone number, and this is the best way to reach me. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Have a great evening.
Good night.
Well, thanks a lot, Jane. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to turn off the record?
Yep, I will get that.
Okay, terrific. Have a great evening.
Thanks, you too.